President William Ruto has been mocked with his Singapore narrative as more people die in Nairobi floods. Welcome to Kenyan Media, where we bring you news updates as they break, and kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing. Now, heavy overnight rains have triggered deadly flooding in Nairobi, and police now confirm multiple fatalities as rescue teams continue searching for survivors. The National Police Service says 23 people have died after torrential overnight rains caused widespread flooding across Nairobi. At least 29 others have been rescued from the flood-hit areas as emergency teams conduct ongoing search and rescue operations across the city. The flooding has destroyed homes, displaced residents, and also forced the closure of several major roads, bringing parts of the capital to a standstill. The Nairobi Police Service released the update on Saturday, March 7th, confirming the scale of disaster following hours of intense rainfall overnight. Police say the downpour triggered severe flooding in multiple neighborhoods across Nairobi, and rescue teams moved quickly through the night, responding to distress calls from residents trapped in flooded homes, vehicles, and buildings. According to the police statement, the rising waters left 23 people dead, making it one of the most serious flood emergencies and the city has faced in recent months. At the same time, emergency responders managed to pull 29 people to safety from different locations across the capital. Those rescued are now receiving medical attention and humanitarian support. Authorities say the operations remain ongoing as teams continue searching affected areas. Police officers, emergency responders, and disaster teams remain deployed across the city, responding to calls and assisting stranded residents. The flooding has not only taken lives, it has caused extensive destruction of property and widespread disruption of daily life. Homes have been damaged or submerged, and vehicles have been stranded in flooded roads, and many residents have been forced to leave their homes in search of safer ground. According to the police, some Nairobi's mostly densely populated estates were among the hardest hit. These include Kibra, Mathare, Huruma, South C, South B, Pipeline in Embakasi, Roysambu, Kahawa West, Githurai, and parts of Westlands. In those neighborhoods, floodwaters surged through the homes and streets after hours of relentless rainfall, and many residents woke up to rising water levels inside their houses. Some had to climb onto rooftops or higher floors to escape the flooding. Others rushed to evacuate with only a few belongings. Authorities say the flooding also forced the closure of several major roads in and around Nairobi. Among the affected routes are sections of Uhuru Highway, Mombasa Road, the Thika Superhighway, Jogoo Road, Enterprise Road, and the Langata Road. These key transport corridors serve thousands of commuters every day, and flooded sections caused major traffic disruptions and forced motorists to seek alternative routes. Emergency services have urged drivers to remain cautious and avoid flooded roads. Police say residents and response teams are continuing to monitor the conditions across the city. They are also coordinating with the agencies and emergency partners to support rescue operations and assist affected residents. Authorities say the goal is to ensure that people trapped by flood waters are located quickly and moved to safety. The National Police Service says the search and rescue mission has been running overnight and continues as the situation evolves. Emergency teams remain on high alert as weather conditions remain unpredictable, and officials say the flooding is linked to the onset of Kenya's March to May long rains, a seasonal weather pattern that often brings a heavy rainfall across large parts of the country. This period is historically associated with the flooding, particularly in low-lying urban areas where drainage systems can be overwhelmed. In Nairobi, the sudden intensity of the overnight rainfall appears to have pushed several drainage channels beyond capacity. The water quickly accumulated in residential areas and major roads, creating dangerous conditions for residents and motorists. Authorities say they are closely monitoring the situation as the rains continue, and the National Police Service says it remains committed to protecting the safety and well-being of all Kenyans, residents and visitors. Officials are urging the public to remain vigilant and report emergencies to the nearest authorities. Beyond Nairobi, the impact of heavy rains is also being felt in other parts of the country. In Western Kenya, flooding has also been reported in parts of Kisumu County. The situation there was triggered after the Sondu Miriu River burst its banks, sending water into nearby communities. The flooding has affected Wangchieng Ward, where hundreds of residents have been displaced. Two areas in particular, and that is Kobala and Ekobuya locations, have suffered significant damage. Homes in these communities have been submerged. Personal belongings have been swept away by the fast-moving water, and floods waters have also destroyed farmland, dealing a heavy blow to local livelihoods. Authorities say about 56 hectares of farmland have been affected. The destruction raises concerns about food security for farming families who depend on those crops. Humanitarian teams on the ground say early evacuations helped prevent loss of life in the affected areas. Volunteers and community-based disaster response teams moved quickly to alert residents and guide them to safer ground. Their actions allowed many families to escape before flood waters rose further. The flooding in Kisumu has affected 381 households. Many families are now in a temporary shelter as aid agencies assess the scale of the damage. Humanitarian groups, including the Kenyan Red Cross, have stepped up response efforts in affected communities. Volunteers are providing emergency assistance to the displaced residents, and this includes evacuation support, basic relief supplies, and coordination with local authorities. The situation in both Nairobi and Kisumu highlights the growing risks that communities face during the long rain season. Urban flooding remains a serious concern in major cities where drainage infrastructure struggles to cope with heavy rainfall. At the same time, rural communities living near rivers face sudden flooding when water levels rise beyond riverbanks. Disaster response teams say preparedness and early warning systems are critical during this time of the year. They are advising people to avoid walking or driving through flooded roads, and residents are also being encouraged to monitor official updates and follow safety instructions issued by the emergency services. For now, surge of the rescue operations in Nairobi remain active. Emergency teams are still working through affected neighborhoods, and their priority is to locate anyone who may still be trapped by floods water and ensure they receive help. Police say they will continue providing updates as the response efforts continues. That is all from Kenya Lens Media. We will get you news updates as they break. And kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing as a way of motivating us and also helping grow this platform.